Superstars, it's Danny with Words Are Matter, here to talk to us about the language of healing. So the language of healing is my newest program. It's been 10 years in the tweaking, beta testing, downloading, perfecting, and I'm so excited to share this far and wide because it's proving nothing short of miraculous in supporting people with chronic illness, with cancer diagnoses, with degenerative conditions. It's really supporting these folks in seeing amazing results and a lot of healing miracles. So the language of healing is vast, and there are many precepts, and the one that I want to focus on today is one that came up when I was working with a client last week who was recently diagnosed with prostate cancer, and we were talking about what are the fears, what are the stories that are looping in your mind, because part of the work when I'm working with clients in a coaching capacity with the language of healing is rewriting the stories and rewriting the loops such that they're coding and programming the body for swift, optimal, complete recovery instead of playing out worst case scenarios and stories that we don't really want to be living into. So for this client, what was looping most was he was waiting for some test results, and what he was wondering was, how bad is it? How bad is it going to be? How bad are the test results going to tell me it's going to be? So notice here how totally not helpful that framing is, and to put that kind of judgment on what is essentially communication from the body. And this is a big part of how I coach my clients when we are going through the language of healing program, is that what's going on with your body is neither bad nor good. It's all neutral. Everything that's happening on this planet is neutral. The only meaning that it has is whatever meaning we choose to project onto it. And a lot of times I see my clients projecting onto their own health initiations, the worst case scenario stories that their doctors or health practitioners are telling them. The thing is that you and all of us have the right to rewrite our stories however we please. And I really recommend that we rewrite our stories so that they support us in embodying health and joy and all the things that we want to embody. So the shift here is not how bad are the test results or how bad is my condition. It's what is my body communicating? How loudly and intensely is my body communicating to me? And then the gist is just, what is the shift that my body is inviting? And how can I pivot and course correct to respond to my body's communication? You know, it's the same thing like what happens with our pets. They don't speak English. So we're doing our best to kind of read their clues to communicate. It's the same with, my liver or my gallbladder or my left toe. It's not going to speak to me in words. It's going to speak to me through sensation. If I judge the sensation and make the sensation wrong and freak out about all the terrible things that the sensation portends, I'm putting my body into more of an imbalanced state, right? Which is not where healing happens. Healing happens when we rest and when we come into a more balanced state, and we just come into as neutral a space as possible and allow our bodies to return to homeostasis as needed with whatever support and tools our body is asking us for through its communication. But the more that we panic, the more that we worry, the more fear that we're running, the way harder it is for our body to heal, right? There's nothing harder on the nervous system, on the immune system than fear, right? What that does to the telomeres, what it does to the nervous system, all that cortisol flooding, none of that is optimal for healing. So we want to stay as calm and centered and trusting as we can. And we do that by what are the thoughts that we're thinking? What is the story that we're telling ourselves? So we want to get out of the good, bad framing. We want to get out of the fear framing, and we want to come back to a place of what is my body communicating neutrally, and what is it asking me for to course correct? So this is to encourage you and me and all of us to not judge the body's communication, to not go into fear and freak out over how weird, loud, uncomfortable, or icky the body's communications may be. It is to stay neutral, to receive them as neutral communication without placing any judgment upon them or projecting any fear stories upon them, and to stay in communication with our body while pivoting, course correcting, and resourcing the body as it's asking in response to these neutral communications. As you or anyone you know are interested in learning more about the language of healing, are interested in working with me in relanguaging a health challenge or initiation, in healing a diagnosis or chronic condition, I am taking on new coaching clients right now. So feel free to DM me. Let's set up a free discovery call and talk about what you're dealing with and figure out the best course of action and the best program for you. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for remembering that every word matters, that you are omniscopic amazingness. Have a rockin' day. Mwah.